Guys, have you seen the latest edition, the latest, sweetest edition, where these MAGA nurses are crying? Like, they are even saying that, oh my God, we didn't know that he can actually do this to us. Okay, you were thinking they are going to just do it to black people, right? No, that was their thought. That every single thing that will actually come will literally not affect them, but it's gonna be affecting people that look like me. Anyways, welcome to another FRN and find out videos. And you know the amazing part of some of these white folks is that whenever they are saying something or whenever they are talking, they tend to think that they are making a lot of sense. And at the end of the day, every single thing they are saying is rubbish. I want you to watch this video, critically watch this video, calm down, watch this video, eat popcorn and watch this video and let me know your honest opinion in the comment section. Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Sonia. If it's the first time tuning in, subscribe, like, comment and share. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And yes, with that being said, let's dive right into this video and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go guys.
In this edition of FAFO, titled Nurses for Trump.
Trump, you are on my last nerve, and I have been a fan from the beginning. I was all for MAGA, whatever the fuck. Make America great again, right? Can't make America great if you ain't got nurses, right? Because apparently they're not professionals now, right? Apparently they have not made the Trump administration list for professional jobs. They left nurses off. I don't know if that was a mistake, but I know they got a proofreader somewhere doing their job. So, what do you mean nurses are not professionals? People that are saving lives. Are you kidding me right now?
So, Nurse Karen over there sounds very upset because the Department of Education has deemed some career fields, when it comes to getting access to loans and loan forgiveness programs, as, quote, non-professional. And many critics say that this will deter a lot of people from pursuing those type of fields. And as a country with a very, very terrible medical system, a potential shortage of nurses is very devastating. But going back to Nurse Karen, I wouldn't trust you if I was one of your patients. Because to me, I think nurses are probably one of the most selfless professions out there. You're out there tending to and taking care of people's health. And since Karen voted for this guy that's currently in the office, it makes me wonder if she would actually care for someone that was undocumented if they came into her hospital. Because it sounds like you're really upset that this is affecting you directly, but you didn't think about all the other policies that are affecting other people. And to you specifically, Karen, since your job is deemed non-professional now, I guess your degree means that you can go and play the game of operation. And I'm talking about this game. Anyways, thoughts on nursing scrubs to you. And have the day that you voted for. Bye.
I truly did mean it when I said, I hope everybody who voted for Trump gets exactly what they voted for. Nurses for Trump, where you at? He says that you guys don't have a real job. It's not a professional degree. So, where you at? Come on, speak up. Come on.
So this video is for the MAGA nurses, the prejudiced nurses, the racist nurses, the nurses that voted for Donald Trump. Now, he done got up there and said that nursing is not a profession, making it seem like that everything that you do means nothing, little to nothing to him. So, let me ask you this. How does that make you feel? Are you going to defend him? Are you oblivious? Or is your common sense going to finally kick in and see that he does not care about you as well? But for some odd reason, I still feel like y'all are going to find y'all way to defend this man. But I hope and pray that each and every one of you get what you deserve for voting for him.
I'm wondering how all of the nurses and nurse practitioners that are MAGA, that support Donald Trump, support his policies, support his initiatives, I wonder how they're feeling today.
Democrats and the people that do not understand the way that the world works, that are talking crap about nurses no longer being considered a professional degree. We all know that this is simply for financial aid and government loan purposes. Although it will set up some hindrances for lower income nurses to further their education and to become nurses to begin with, let me point out some specifics for you. So only for the sake of government loans is nursing not being considered a professional degree. If you guys look back and you look at simple things like trade schools and trade certifications where financial aid and educational costs are just a small fraction of what it costs for nursing, when it comes to industries like cosmetology and beauty and people get financial aid, only about half of those people that the government pays for their education actually stay in that trade, aka wasted money. Same thing with welders. Financial aid is available to these people. Yes, it is less than what nursing school costs, but only about half of those people stay in the trade for 3 to 5 years after their certification or graduation. Phlebotomist, same thing. CNAs, home health care, same thing. Realtors, same thing. So since the pandemic and since higher education has been made available to near everybody on the government's dime, and with all of the nursing benefits, grants on the COVID pandemic and government's dime, how nursing, the shortage, it's been exploited. The shortage has been exploited. People have sought out nursing as an easy way to maximize their earning potential, which is not to blame, but on the government's dime. And so many of them, a quarter to a third of nurses nationwide do not stay in the industry for more than 3 to 5 years. Unlike cosmetology, welding, CNAs, phlebotomy, things of that nature, realtors, property managers. The cost of education to become a nurse or go from CNA to LPN to RN to ARNP is way more costly than those little trade certifications. All of that adds up. So when financial aid and the government is paying for that, who do you think is paying for that? So now, as it will make it more difficult for just any Joe Schmo or financially hardship type people to go become nurses, I would dare say that because people are coming out of their own pocket to pay for education, we might get people to stay in the industry now. We might get people that actually care and have a passion for healthcare versus the people that just want a career to hurry and hop into so they can make a big buck and not give a damn about the patient that they're tending to. Because that is what we've been dealing with on an epic proportion for years now. This change also does not in any way, shape, or form affect the private institutions, the hospitals, the corporate institutions, the corporate hospitals, into investing into their nurses and helping their nurses climb the nursing ladder instead of the government and financial aid. So for the people that so simpleton-like set and make it like it's a downgrade and like nurses aren't being appreciated, oh no. Just the opposite. Just the teetotal opposite. Healthcare is something that you should have a passion for. Period. Just because you want to become a nurse real quick, fast, and in a hurry and get over 2 years of your life so you can get paid to travel the country and have your room and boards paid for and not have to put in the work. Not fair to the nurses that actually care. All nurses are appreciated, but this will get rid of the ones that never belonged there in the first place.
You know, one of the things that I notice about white women is that they are very good at articulating themselves, sometimes to the point where they can even articulate in a way that they can convince you of something that initially it might not have been, like you might have you, at first initial reaction, you knew you were right about something, but then they'll come and they'll articulate their words so well that before you know it, they've been gaslit you into thinking that this was a good thing. I just seen a white woman come on this platform and she literally articulated the changes that's happening in the programs with nursing. And her statement was that the reason why they are suggesting that nursing is not going to be considered part of the profession in order to get loans for nursing is solely because it is to reduce the cost of nursing, and so that people who are just going to school for being a nurse is not going to subsequently pay the same price as someone who went to go to become a doctor. Now, this is the same administration that says that loans for homes should be up to 50 years. And some people might think that makes sense, but it doesn't, okay? It means that if you got a loan that you're going to have for 50 years in order for you to be able to pay it off, you better believe that the price of that house is going to be 10 times the price that it's probably worth. Okay, so anyway, her saying that, and again, when white women talk, they tend to talk and they only have themselves in mind because they have access to certain things that other people do not have. So, for example, saying that people may not qualify for certain loans because nursing is no longer considered a profession, it does take away access from the black and brown communities. Okay, so even if it's going to be cost efficient for some people who might not have certain credit or certain income, they may not qualify for certain loans, and this would probably not allow them access to be able to take go to school for nursing and things that they're interested in. It is not to deny women access; it's to deny the black and brown community access to certain places. And of course, inadvertently, it always affects white women because, again, I always say this, that white women thought that they were free, but they weren't. We were enslaved and they were enslaved by their men. The same things that we didn't have, they didn't have either. It's just that they had the assumption, I guess, of being free because they were white and they had some advantages to power. But for the most part, they really just was delusional as fuck because they was just as enslaved as we were. So naturally, when we fought for certain things, it allowed them to also have other things. I noticed that she wouldn't allow us to stitch the videos or duet the videos, and I'm assuming that's because and after she finished hooting and hollering about the benefit of these changes, she then suggested that if it was the left, and anytime somebody have a discourse and they start talking about the left and the right, but more so they talk negatively about the left and then they mention Obama, automatically it's a red flag because nothing Obama did, even to this day, they consider good, even despite the fact that he literally gave about 34 million people health insurance, and it wasn't good until it was under a new administration, and now they wanted to claim it and change the name to Affordable Care Act. But it was Obamacare when they wanted to make it seem like it wasn't relevant enough. So when she suggested that, if it was the left or if it was Obama doing the same thing, y'all would see the good in it. Nothing Donald Trump has done for our country at this present time has had any benefit to anybody. And all the things that Donald Trump has put into place has literally been to benefit the rich and eat the poor. Okay. And I don't know why there are some white women. This is what I mean about white women being the men of women, because no matter what white men do and no matter how exploitive they are, they will still die on that hill of trying to convince everybody else that what they're doing is not bad. This is the same man that is now linked to predatory behavior, okay? And I'm not talking about this is something that we're not seeing in 4K. We see it in 4K. The victims are still alive. They're able to match the victims up to the actual kids that we see in the videos, okay? But these are the same women that will come up here and try to convince all of us that these changes that are happening with these student loans is for our benefit. What has Donald Trump and his constituents have ever done to benefit the public? He don't care about veterans. He don't even care about his own people. He don't care about the poor. He don't care about nothing but himself, his children, and his constituents that he's in alignment with. And I looked in the comment section and I saw that there were black people in the comment section. They never, there's some black people who never go against the status quo. And I don't know. I mean, good for y'all. But for me, when I see certain things, I just got to call it out, because what are you even talking about? Any changes to the loan programs right now is not a benefit. Many people don't even mind having to pay back their student loans. They just want to have access to be able to have these loans so that they could get the education that they would not be able to get because they could not afford it. You changing anything in relation to the programs in these fields such as nursing, and make changes to where it's less money to be able to take these programs, when many schools are probably going to be expensive, which will require some people to have to get additional loans. It's not because they change the amount that you can get for these programs that the school might change the amount to get into these programs. No, that the price still stays the same when you go into these universities. The only difference is that you're only going to get a small amount to go towards the degree that you're looking for. And if you don't have money and access to make up the difference, then you just don't take this program. Okay, that's what it's about. The fact that there are white women who keep forgetting that it's not like what it used to be before. There's a lot of black women who are educated who's always going to challenge your narrative. Okay, and many can argue that there may be some advantages to this, but others can argue, because it's undeniable, that America is literally doing a factory reset, and the attempt to once again put black people in a position where we are disenfranchised and we don't have the ability to show up in certain places and spaces or have representation, in hopes of never having another Kamala Harris, never having another Obama, Jasmine Crockett, another me, right? At the end of the day, though, it's never going to happen. We always going to find a way to make it out of no way. But the reality is that y'all white women, some of y'all, don't really have the advantage that you think that you once did. People see you for who you really are now. You guys will go against your own best interests in order to ensure that you have some type of an alignment with white supremacy and its superiority, and you don't care what you don't care at what expense and what that may even cost you in order to uphold the narrative. The amount of people that was in her comment section that was validating the things that she was saying, not challenging nothing. I think I probably was the only one who's saying, like, also, in other words, what you're basically saying without all the hooting and hollering is that you're suggesting that what Donald Trump has done to these loan changes in his administration is going to be beneficial. That's what you're getting down to. Before I even finished hearing out the video, and then of course, lo and behold, as she finished out the video, she basically was pretty much giving credit to the Trump's administration for all of these changes. It was 109 views that she had on that video. The amount of reach and power that certain white people have, even despite all of what we're seeing today, it really needs to be studied. It really do. Okay? At the end of the day, though, I'm going to just say this to all of my black kids and the brown kids out here. I don't care what changes they making. Just keep in mind that our founding fathers and mothers literally built entire communities right after being enslaved. They had nothing, and we were able to build. We were disenfranchised. They never wanted us anywhere. We built the HBCUs, certain black-owned banks and hospitals. We even had an airport. We did all of that with a harsh-ass government that we had once before. So it doesn't matter what changes they make. Yes, it will get a little bit harder, but you already know. If it's something that we really want to do, we up for the challenge. Okay? Yeah, well.
Nurses, just real quick, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers. I'm not trying to start no mess. I'm just trying to see how y'all feel now that the Trump administration just co-signed the Department of Education saying that the nursing profession is no longer a professional degree. Those of you who voted for him, how you feeling now? Do you regret your vote? Or do you still stand beside him? Because he's going to make America great again. Come on, let's talk about it. How you feeling now? And for the ones who didn't vote for him, are you surprised? Because I'm not. From the day he left as 45, and been showing out since he came back as 47. Y'all know I ain't lying. He helped save lives. And what we do is not professional. Somebody make it make sense to me.
I honestly wasn't going to say anything, but I can't help it. Can't help it. The fact that the Department of Education would essentially single out nursing and say that advanced practice nurses degrees cannot be recognized as professional degrees is absolutely insane to me, and it is so beyond dangerous. It is so dangerous. The truth is is that advanced practice nursing is what has kept a lot of people in the nursing profession. Because without it, a lot of nurses would have simply just left the profession. The profession that is already short, the profession that helps bridge gaps in care deserts where there's no one else. There you go, there's an advanced practice provider. And the fact that they would seriously even entertain the idea that would not recognize these programs is insane. And as a consumer of health, people should be concerned, because the reality is that nurses will not return back to the bedside. If that is what they're hoping for, it's not going to happen. People will leave the profession in drones. So this is absolutely I don't even know what to say. Like, I am in full on shock.
Talk about the political theory behind restricting access to education, and specifically how that relates to the current administration's decision to downgrade the nursing profession. Paulo Freire wrote that the easiest way to control a population is to restrict their access to education. So by making it so people can't afford it, they stay dependent on the system that is exploiting them. So by removing nursing from a definition of professional degree, the pathway becomes harder to fund. People can't afford it. So that directly blocks upward mobility. People can't afford to become nurse practitioners, CRNAs. Essentially, you're gutting the system from the inside and making it weaker.
To the First Lady, it's people will leave the industry in droves, not drones. But they're both 100% correct on the damage this is going to do. You're not going to be able to get certain loans or certain dollar amounts for loans for certain educations because they're not considered professional. The eroding of our education system from the top down is has been so damaging within the first 10 months alone that it is going to take a shit ton of time to repair just that damage. I shudder to think of what they're going to do over the course of the next.
Nurse practitioner degrees are no longer going to be considered professional degrees under the new Department of Education proposed rules that go into effect next July. MDs and DOs, they are still considered professional. That makes complete and logical sense. However, NPs, not professional. CRNAs, not professional. PAs, not professional. But chiropractors, they are still considered professional under these new proposed rules. However, physical and occupational therapists do not fall under these professional degrees. They are not professional. Speech language pathologists, not professional. Theology and divinity degrees, yes, they are considered professional. However, teachers, the ones who are actually the ones teaching the entire country, are not considered professional. I truly cannot even put into words how much this does not make any sense. As someone who has been studying my ass off for 2.5 years in a doctorate of nursing practice program, completing clinical rotations and managing patients and sacrificing my time, my money, my sleep, and quite frankly, my sanity, to now be told that my profession is not professional is beyond disrespectful to not just NPs, but to every single professional healthcare degree out there. NPs, CRNAs, PAs, PTs, OTs, SLPs, social workers, even teachers. Like, it is so disrespectful in so many ways to not consider these professions professional enough to be worthy of loans. This decision doesn't just impact job titles, it impacts federal loan caps and affordability and access to education and the future workforce. It's all in all very insulting to every single advanced practice provider out there who works on the front line of a very broken system, but still chooses to show up for their patients every single day. So to the Department of Education, I don't know who came up with this list and how you guys decided on which profession is more professional than the others, but please.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and I hope you guys have seen all of that clip. You can see how that white woman was actually rumbling her mouth, thinking that every single thing she's saying is actually making sense, thinking that every single thing she's saying is just the best. Oh my god, I'm giving them the solution, and that is it. I'm not gonna feel sad for any of these MAGAs, honestly. Even if the orange man likes, the orange man should even wake up one morning and be like, no birthday is going to be doing nothing. Like everything about nothing should be cancelled, should be taken off. I'm not gonna feel bad for them. Like one thing they forget, or they always usually do forget, is black people are always trained, like they are always trained to understand the system of everything and to plan ahead. Yeah, black people are always ready to face whatsoever that is coming. That is the one thing that these people literally forget. I don't think they don't even forget it. Like that is one thing they know, and that is why they are really scared of black folks. I'm not gonna say they forget it. They know. That is why when any of these things regarding the administration is hitting hard, they are the ones crying. They are the ones to be like, why did we even get to this place? How did we even get to this place? Are we even supposed to be in this place? Do you get what I'm trying to say? And this is what you're literally going to keep facing. This is the F around and find out these white folks literally keep facing as far as they have decided that they don't want any good. And the good part is the administration is here to stay. The administration is here to say there's nothing anybody can do. So everybody should just wait till when this particular tenure is over. Probably by that time, they will have their senses back and know exactly what to do. I do not literally know for these people, because every single time I keep checking them out, I keep saying that these people literally don't even understand what life is all about. They don't. Because if they do understand what life is all about, I don't think they will have voted him in the first place. And they don't want to ask people that understand what life is all about, which is the black folks, for them to actually make them understand before they go ahead to do anything that they actually want to do. And that is why, like I keep saying, I don't feel for any of them. Like I don't feel for any of these MAGAs. I don't feel for them. In fact, if they're getting the FAFO, they should be getting it very well. I saw one particular video where a MAGA man, was actually saying that, oh, President Trump, this was not a promise you made. This was not the agreement we had. After you just went into the office, you forgot all of your promises. You forgot East West North. And I was like, Trump is one president that never forgets his promises. He did not. Exactly what he said is what he is actually doing. Exactly what he promised is what he's actually delivering. So how did he forget his promise? How? He is one of the most sincere, as far as I'm concerned, sincere president that kept to his promise. He told them he's going to whoop out immigrants. He did, and is affecting their own farmers. Now he's coming to nursing. The same people that voted for him, I will vote Donald Trump. The same people that made it look as if he is actually the best. Without him, there is nothing good that is actually going to happen in this world. Congratulations. I'm happy for you guys. MAGAs, I'm happy for you guys, because this is just a tip of an iceberg. Expect a lot. We still have how many years? 26, 27 before 2028. So expect a whole lot. And I hope you guys don't learn. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like this video, drop me a comment, and lastly, do not forget to share. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Do not touch the dial. Come back for more.